Hey y'all, it's Lindsay with the Fiber Seed, and it is WIP Wednesday where I share what I've been working on. I had a week off last week because I was up in the mountains, and I brought an inordinate amount of projects with me that I knew for sure I wasn't going to finish, but I'm surprised at how much I did get finished. So let me share some of that stuff with you first, okay? So I took, if you haven't been watching for a while, I had Christmas presents. Yes, I know, it's almost the end of June. But, and they were embroidered gifts. So here's the little tiny caterpillar. If you remember, this is a Kiriki embroider kit that I bought for one of my nieces. Well, I got one from a nephew and another niece. And I was like, yeah, Christmas. I bought them about this time last year. I did not, in fact, get them done for Christmas because as much as I can knit and crochet quickly, sew pretty quickly, embroidery takes a little bit longer, and I was not prepared for that. But I took a somewhat not close to half alligator, and I finished it. Yes, I finished it. It's supposed to have spikes, but I tried the technique, which was a weaving technique for embroidery, and I didn't like how floppy it was. And I'm like, this is gonna get ripped out. I just know it, and I'm not gonna do 15 other of them. Just, it's not happening. So I just left it without. I think you'll be okay. I added an extra little chain stitch along the side of it to kind of give it a little bit more oomph, so it kind of looks like that without being so out there. Anyway, so I got the alligator done, and then I got the fox done. Literally was really worried about getting the fox done because it was a level 2 just like the alligator, and I got this done in a day. So I was super excited about that and kind of actually relieved, because I feel like if it had taken as long as the alligator, I would have definitely lost hope on getting this done before my nieces and nephews come to visit me. So those are done. Yes. On the way down there, I took a new project that I am working on. It's a pattern I just kind of whipped up, and it was super easy and soothing, and I loved it. And the great thing about this is it's a random pattern. So not random the way it's done, but random in the amount of yarn you use is what you got, right? So I've got something fun that's going to be going along with that in the coming month. So keep your eyes open for that mystery. It will be called mystery. The word mystery will be in there. Okay. So keep your eye open for that. Okay. What things did I not finish? I didn't touch the weaving projects that I put together. Now, to be fair, I left mine here. So I only took one weaving project, and that one's for my niece. And so I need to work on that one because I have a month. That won't take long though once I get going. I just didn't have any time because we did a lot of hiking. So you're gonna go, okay, cool, did you finish those socks? No, I was cruising. I made some, I was gonna make some doodle socks by Pacific Knit Co. Jamie Lomax. And so this is the basic outline, gives you the instructionals on here. They go with those doodle decks, right? So Penelope had picked out the squirrel, s'mores, and the deer. And this is how she picked out, because I was using a Fangirl Fibers skein pack for doodles. And so this is the way that she'd picked out her colors. And I threw in some of mine there so the s'mores would have a little bit more definition of difference. So I got there, put on my Afterthought heel bit, and I was going, and I tried it on. And it was fine, but I was going to have to tear back a little bit to put the toe on, and I said, do you like this? And she, because of where I had it, she hiked it up. She goes, oh, I love these leg warmers. And I'm like, leg warmers? We were making socks. So it became a leg warmer. And then, well, she wanted to wear just one to go hiking, because why not? So you're going to be like, hey, what about that there that you're supposed to pull out for an Afterthought heel? I just wove the ends in. She's 7. She doesn't care about perfection. And honestly, I'm getting off of that train as I get older. We're going to go with more experienced knitter. I don't know. Anyway, so went with this. Then she's like, I want, I really, she She loves this. I had so much fun doing this. She was like, I'm okay with stripes. So basically, I striped the other one in the same amount of space and followed the colors of what was going on here, and then completed the leg warmer. Now, Reese has said, I do want a pair of socks. So he is getting the trees, bear, and campfire. So I need to go over with him what he wants color-wise with the pack from Fangirl Fibers. This color was also from her as well. And FY, it's not an FY, just as a tip, when I was doing all the figuring of the color works for her, Penelope, when I was doing her little squirrel and s'mores and deer, I had a little post-it note that I was using as a row guide as I was going down the color work, like this. But I also wrote all the colors of what was going on for each color work piece, color-wise, so I knew quick reference, so I didn't have to remember it all, because there's a lot going on. So that was what I did there, and that was very helpful, because the post-it note held up to, I mean, my charts were not super long, but it held up through all three cards just fine, and, you know, it was great. So I have one more pair of socks to go, but we do have a couple of hikes here planned for the end of the summer with the kids, so I still have time to finish Reese's socks. Yeah, and because I know how many times have we run into the oops, Reese's feet got bigger thing. I have extra of the main color. So also I have extra of the orange, so if anything I can put the toes and the heels in this color, and that way I can find them easy. Anyway, that's how that went when projects don't go as planned. But I got a little bit further on this one. This was we watched movies a couple different nights, and so I got a little bit further on my Dandelion Dance Shawl by Fiber and Fox. And I am now in the Just Color B section, which is my Nessie. So it's got teals and greens in it. And I've got Charlotte's Web here that I'm working on. They're both in Sprout DK. And thank goodness that I used the color key that Fiber and Fox put in here, because I forgot the order of my last two colors. Not at that point in the pattern where I'd be going, oh no, which one did I pick? I can't remember. But I did write it down. So that was a fun, quick reference that I'm excited was in the pattern. But yeah, using Sprout DK, I'm using a ball of each color. There's 4 colors. And it's cruising by pretty quickly. And I got to use my Furls wooden crochet hook, so that was fun. It's a G+, which is not a common size, but it worked for this project. So those are the things that I got done and that I worked on. I have some garments that I need to finish, but I think that the gifts are going to be ahead of it. So that's what I got into last week on the garden side of things. If you guys keep up with my updates on Instagram and Facebook, the garden went from, ooh, maybe this year is not that great, to, whoa, when we got back. Pro tip, I am not a master gardener, so take this with I messed up, and here so you don't mess up. If you're gonna do collard greens, cover them when you plant them with a netting that's mesh netting, so that you keep out the buggies, because we threw one up on top of it before we left. I already knew there's some bugs already in there, so I guess it contained them and kept less from coming in because it was covered. But I had a lot of trimming to do today, so that was fun. Yeah, but the garden is looking great, so I'll put those updates in my stories, so if you want to watch that, check out my stories. Yeah, so until next time though, happy crafting. Oh, no happy crafting. Well, no, happy crafting. I'm not even cutting this out. If you have not seen Knit Sisu's Prana 2 shawl, it's out. Then you go, hey Lindsay, where are your Half Speckleds? They're there, but the last couple shows totally wiped out my DK ones. I do have some sock ones left, but you'll be like, where are they on the website? Well, we're getting them up. However, first order of business is to do a Half Speckle update this summer. So I will have a bunch of colors available for the Prana 2 and the original Prana that will be up in the shop. So make sure you are following me on all the places so that you get the info when it does go up. Yeah. So now until next time, happy crafting.